The Trump administration's comical failure on the coronavirus continues. Jeff Stein of the Washington Post says the following. New, Trump keeps pushing new tax deductions to encourage Americans to go back to sports, restaurants, travel, and entertainment industry. Lobbyists are privately telling the White House that won't matter unless more is done to contain the virus. Trump and White House officials have talked up, endorsed tax breaks for restaurants operating at way reduced capacity, sports games, barred to fans, entertainment, theaters are closed, vacation, $4,000 credit per person, unclear if people feel safe traveling. A sense of scale here, one possible version of Trump's proposed tax deduction would cost $2 billion a year for the rest, and restaurant industry losses by the end of 2020 is $240 billion. Sports revenue lost $12 billion. Entertainment industry lost $20 billion. So, the point of this story is they're, like, comically out of touch. I mean, it's like legendary how out of touch they are. They have one solution to everything. And it's like, what if we did tax cuts? Okay, but as Jeff Stein points out accurately, doesn't matter how many tax cuts you give people, they don't feel safe going in public because there's a virus ripping through the country. You still have Florida, Arizona, Texas, record number of cases. Trump was bragging about the death rate being low, but that's just because the deaths lag from the initial time when people get the virus. So wait a couple weeks and that death rate's going to skyrocket again because people are just getting the virus in gigantic numbers now. In Florida, Arizona, Texas, there's other countries as well where it's on the rise. So you can't, they're trying to force everything back to normal without addressing the elephant in the room. Namely, there's an out of control virus. Guys, how many times have I told you this? If we mandated masks worldwide, we can't do that. We don't have the authority. If we mandated masks in the country, if Trump said new regulation at the federal level, everybody's got to wear masks, that alone would have a gigantic impact. There was a study that came out that found, I believe, the deaths in this country would be 1/12 what they are if everybody wore a mask. I keep giving the example of Japan, where, now this isn't to say that their response was perfect, just to be clear, but to do a comparison with us, they look a hell of a lot better than we do because they have less than 1,000 deaths. Admittedly, they have a smaller population, but still, less than 1,000 deaths from coronavirus. And really the only difference is everybody wore a mask. They did like minor shutdowns here and there, but it wasn't like a total economic shutdown like we did here. And less than 1,000 people died, and it's all because everybody wears masks. We have over 125,000 deaths, and, you know, it's some people wear masks, other people don't. I'll tell you, from being in New York, I know that the minute everybody started wearing masks in enclosed spaces inside, the number of coronavirus cases plummeted. Not as many people were getting the virus. But the Trump administration is refusing to even just say, hey, everybody wear a mask. They're skipping right to step like 8, and they're like, all right, we're going to do tax credits. But nobody wants to go to restaurants. So they wanted to give minor league baseball a tax cut. The day after they floated that idea, minor league baseball was like, yeah, we've had a bunch of new coronavirus cases, so we have to shut down the facility and postpone the season. It shows you how amazingly out of touch they are. You know what else Larry Kudlow floated? You're going to love this. It's incredible. A capital gains tax cut. You know what a capital gains tax cut is? Capital gains tax is the money, investment money, the tax on investment money. So like if you have a bunch of money in the market, the stock market, and let's say you make $2,000 in 1 month from your investments, the capital gains tax is the rate that's taxed. I believe they've already cut it once or twice, and they want to, ideally, they want to eliminate it. Now, understand something about the market, guys. 90% of the market, actually I think it's 92%, is owned by the top 10% of earners. So to target a tax cut to them, that's only helping the wealthy. Quite literally. This is at a time when workers are getting obliterated. And And he's talking about an idea to help the top 10%. It's so out of touch that you almost get the sense that they don't even want it to work. Like, they just want to continue to loot the treasury and rip the country off and screw workers. And Larry Kudlow wants to help his buddies on Wall Street. Like, that's the sense you get watching this. It's like, oh, this is so stupid. They can't even have the intention of wanting to fix stuff. They can't even have the intention. Like, this is so stupid. It appears like they don't even care about the problem. They just want to give more money to their friends. So, I mean, it's, how are you going to go to tax cuts again? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? Look at the current state of affairs. You're going to tax cuts, bro. We desperately need a UBI. We desperately need Medicare for all. Like, this is what we need. There's 25%. We'll get to this story in a little bit. But a quarter of New York City renters haven't paid rent since March. We're about to face a foreclosure and eviction crisis, the likes of which we've never seen. A new homelessness crisis. And he's talking about tax cuts for the rich. Embarrassing.